I'm Anita Day and welcome to my kitchen. I'm so happy to be here and I thank my guests for coming today. It's always a fight on who's going to get to come and sit in the audience because they get to eat at the end, right? Yeah. So start out. I'm going to give you my homemade popcorn with real butter. That way you can have something to snack on while we're, going through some of the recipe stuff. So sometimes I just do not know what to cook. Do you ever get in that slump where it's like, just tell me what you want. I'm sick of making the decision all the time. So this is one we're going to do with little kind of leftovers. What to do with some that's really different. So I have some hamburger that I've browned back here. Y'all know how to brown hamburger, I'm pretty sure. And I just chopped up an onion and threw that in there. So I'm going to add just a little bit of water. It's chopped up pretty fine. And I'm going to add some water in there because then I'm going to add some taco seasoning to it. So you can use whatever recipe you want to for your taco meat. If you make homemade tacos or burritos, use that. But you want to let your water kind of absorb in and makes everything nice and soft. And I'm going to add, I buy it by the big, because we eat it a lot. So buying by the package, you would probably use, this is about 1.25 pounds, 1.5 pounds of ground meat. So probably at least a package, sometimes a package and a half, depending on how spicy you want it. I know that kind of looks like a lot, but it really wasn't. It was probably like 1/2 cup. And then we're going to get that mixed in there, and we're going to let that absorb in. And like I said, if you have leftover meat, just microwave it. And if you remember, I don't know, a while ago, I did a show on cracked chicken, where you cook the chicken in the crock pot or in the oven on low with cream cheese and ranch dressing, dry ranch dressing, and then shred it up and make sandwiches out of it. We're going to use some of the leftovers. I kind of kicked it up a notch or so. And of course, with that, you have to have some bacon. Yeah. And the crunch part, if you've ever been to one of the little fast food restaurants, they have crunch wrappers. I won't name who they are, but Fritos. You could probably use Doritos if you wanted to, if you have a flavor. I'm not into flavor chips, but okay. That's going to take a few minutes for that to absorb in. I usually like to let it cook, 20 minutes or so, but I've already let this cook a little bit. So we're just going to let that heat absorb in there. And we're going to, I'll start out showing you what I'm making. This is my cracked chicken that I microwaved and heated up. And we're going to take burrito shells. You can use whatever size you want. You can use a smaller size if you want. I need to get some cheese, some shredded cheese. That's going to be like the glue that holds everything together. So when I do these for the family, when I use this size, everybody will eat 2 of them. There's a Mexican grocery store in Fort Atkinson I go to. The burrito shells are like twice this size. They're like this big. So then they'll eat 1. But sometimes I just don't want to drive just for that. So this is my cracked chicken. And we're going to put, I bet that's probably about 1/2 cup. And of course you have to have bacon on it. And then you're going to put your cheese on it. That wasn't hard, was it? Okay, so you're going to fold this kind of like a stop sign. You're just going to kind of fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it, and then it kind of looks like a little pocket. And you're going to turn it upside down, just so that it stays closed. And then you're going to go on to the next one. Now, what I do is I'll put them on a plate, and then like put plates in between them. You know, just kind of hold them down, because then I can cook them all at the same time. I always do it from hot. Don't use cold, because it's not on the grill long enough for the meat to get hot. So I'm just going to make a couple of these while that hamburger back there is cooking. Ooh, I bet I can do 3 out of this. Ah, see, and what did I forget? I do it all the time. The crunch part. Yep, the crunch part. Now try and get it folded back up as nice as it was with the same spots. Well, it was almost close. All right, so bacon. And if you want to, you can use the bacon bits. That's okay. And really, you can put whatever you want in these. You could do leftover turkey if you wanted to, and cranberry sauce, and then you would have a Thanksgiving in a little pocket. This is nice because it stays clean. You know, when you're eating it, it doesn't, you know, like you'll bite from here and it's not running all over the place like your tacos are falling apart. It's mine, nachos. Okay, let's talk about it. We can talk about it. Okay, we're simmering back here a little bit.
You're corny.
I am corny, yes. That's a food too. That is just about done. And I'm going to start my griddle. Get it warmed. I have a big cooktop, you know, like a pancake griddle too. I could use that. Okay, these are chicken. Sometimes what I'll do is, let's see, I got enough for one more. And if you want, and you want to taste both of them, we can cut them in half, if you like. Oh, my son will be happy that there's bacon left. Yes, he said he'd be a vegetarian if bacon grew on trees. See, this is something Andrew could do.
Right.
He could. Fold it.
Oh, when Andy tried that.
What did you say?
Can you imagine the kitchen when Andy tried that?
I could. Did you eat your meatballs yet?
Yes,
Thank
wonderful.
You so much.
Thank you.
Okay, those are ready to go on the griddle. All we have to do is make the hot ones with the taco meat.
It smells good.
Does it smell good? I'm going to take a little taste of the taco meat because I want to make sure it's got enough spice in there. And it's not hot, spicy spice. It's just good, you know, good seasoning. Oh, hot. I know what else I'm going to add to it. I made salsa the other day, and I had some of the juice left over from the canned tomatoes. I'm going to throw that in there. I don't waste anything. I'll either stick it in the freezer and it'll go in the soup pot. There's so many things you just need a little bit of tomato sauce for. That'll add a little bit more. Now I've seen them where they put lettuce, tomato, chopped onions, all fresh stuff in there. But here we just put some black, you know, I just took a can of black beans and drained them and rinsed them off. And I'll put some in those. You use taco sauce on it. Okay. You have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is, do you always have is it a requirement to always rinse off beans? Canned beans?
No, you can just throw them in soup or whatever. They just get, black beans especially, they'll change everything to that color and it just kind of looks muddy. That's why I rinse black beans.
So you don't have to do the red beans then?
You don't have to, no. No, not at all. That's just a personal preference. So, you know, like in soups, I just dump it in there. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to this one. All right, new spoon. Whew. Well, you can tell it's hot. Let's move just a little closer here. I don't know about you, but my family could eat Mexican food probably every day of the week. Although this technically isn't Mexican food. Just gonna throw a little black beans on there. And this is just Ortega taco sauce. It just happens to be their favorite with the flavor and everything. You could use any kind of salsa if you wanted to. I just dropped a Frito on the floor and I'm gonna step on it and it's gonna crunch.
Where's Izzy when you
Reality.
Where's my dog when you need her? Yes,
Yeah, reality TV.
that's exactly it. Oh, I think I have too many Fritos in there. Or too much meat. Okay. I'm gonna set that like that. Let's do another one. So what would your preference be? These are two completely different in taste because this is not gonna be spicy, the chicken. This one's gonna be a little bit more. And I used to make such a mess. But you could do tomatoes, whatever you want. And those are gonna stay cold though. They're gonna stay kind of cool. So I think I can fit 6 on my griddle at one day. Did you just hear it crunch? I got it. Yeah, I think I can do 6 this size. Doesn't really matter what order you do anything in either. Okay, clean up my mess here. And the Fritos stay crunchy. What do we need? Black beans. What did I miss? This. Did I put taco sauce on the last one?
I'm not sure you did. I don't think so.
Oh well. It's not rocket science. There's no really recipe for this, so just do however you want. Okay, I'm gonna take these over to the griddle, and they do not take long at all. Put them fold side down. What's your question?
You don't need to add anything?
Spray it?
Or
Nope.
anything? You just put
No.
it right on the griddle.
Right on the griddle.
Wow.
I've never sprayed it.
Just a regular pancake griddle.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I've got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so fold side down. And if you can see from, I put a little Frito on top of the taco ones. That way I can tell them apart without cutting them open.
I was about to ask you.
You were, oh, see, I was reading your mind. Sometimes those mind reading skills actually work. So, oh, there's three Fritos down there. Okay. Let those go for a minute. Okay. Let's check this back here. Nope, still a little bit. Depending on how hot it takes.
Question. Anita, how long will you leave that on the griddle?
It depends on how hot it is. It's not really hot. So maybe about 2 minutes, 3 minutes per side.
So
Just
not
until
very
it
long.
starts turning brown. Yeah, not very long at all. Yes? Sue, what's your question?
So at what temperature do you set your griddle? Just halfway?
If I had a temperature, this is kind of on, well, my numbers are, I'm on a medium high
Okay.
right now. If I would had the electric griddle out, I'd probably have it set about the same because it just goes really fast. You just don't want them turning black.
Right.
So, ooh. Lost one of my little Fritos down the stove. So I don't know about you, but in the wintertime, I have to go through my recipe collection and reorganize, and it's about time I didn't get to do it this past winter. But for any of those who want to know how I do this, I just have a regular binder, and I have these little plastic sleeves that I put my recipes in, one on front, one on back. So then I can take it out, take it out, and then I can either lay it here and it doesn't get all messy, or I can clip it up here and it's not in the way. I think I can smell it back here. Turning them over there, just turning brown. So I think the front of my griddle is warmer than the back. So we're gonna be ready to eat in like 2 minutes.
I have a question.
Yes, Sue?
I'm curious how you have your recipe book organized. Is it alphabetically by title, or do you classify it by type of recipe?
I do. I have them classified. There's appetizers, there's beverages, because I've got these dividers that were already like that. It already had it, but you could do it however you want. So there's bread, there's eggs, salads, and poultry, vegetables, which is nearly empty. But of course, what do you think my biggest section is? Sweets. I think it's very important for people to share their recipes, because there's recipes that I'm sure my grandmother made or even my mom made that I don't have the recipe for them anymore, and they're just they're lost. So that's one of the things that I want to do with this cooking show, is sharing recipe. Not necessarily the highly technical, looks beautiful, you've spent hours and hours and it takes 5 minutes to eat. That's not what this is about. You're in the wrong show then. Because, this is everyday. Share your recipe, something that, somebody's going to go, oh, wow, I need that recipe for. And I always do that, like if I go to potlucks are great to go to, because that's usually when people will pull out their good recipes, and you'll find some really good ones like that. Ooh, we are ready. Ready, ready. That one didn't stay so good. That griddle does get hot. Okie dokie. So, just for the sake of looking at, they're cute little pockets, they're just a little bit brown. They're still a little crunchy there. So I'm gonna cut one open. So there's the see, I lost all my Fritos now, and I don't know which one's which. Let's try this one.
Surprise.
I know, surprise. It is. It's going to be a surprise. I chose right. There's a chicken one. They're like your own little Hot Pockets, kind of.
Yeah.
But they're healthier because they don't have all the preservatives in it.
Right.
So, we're going to dish these up. I want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you to my guests who came.
Absolutely.
Eat up, please,
All right.
and let me know what you think.
Okay.
Remember to share your recipes with your family. Teach a child to cook something because they need to learn how to take care of themselves, and maybe one day you. Thanks for joining me.